See, I have already got signals to complete the session, but still if one or two questions participants want, I can have it. That's it. Yes, you.
Where's the microphone? Please, microphone. And please identify yourself.
I'm Satyajit Ganguly. I'm Managing Director with ONGC Tripura Power Corporation. My question to the last gentleman is, what is the cost dynamics of this? Like 100-kilometer length transmission line, how much does it cost and why?
Cost of 100 kilometers transmission line.
No, don't think it has to do with the length of the line and cost of the line. I don't know. We could not get your question properly.
Will you kindly repeat your question? Mr.
My question is about the last presentation. Yeah, could you just give some cost dynamics with respect to generation?
Sure. So it depends on three main things. It depends on your load current, the voltage, of course.
I'm giving all the three things. Please ask me. 400 kV is the voltage.
Yeah, what's your load current? What's your normal load current?
Say 600 megawatt is the megawatt. You can make the current.
You'll have to convert it.
Dr.
So
Ganguly?
I think we can work offline to tell you some costs.
Dr. Ganguly?
Yeah.
Allow me to interfere. I think this kind of specific questions, may I request you that at the tea time you can ask separately, so that it interests the other audience. So, yeah. Any other questions, please? Any other questions? We can take one or two more questions. Yes.
My name is V.K. Sood. I come from the power sector for that matter. I have listened to all the speakers very patiently. Mr. Jain mentioned about the steep power. Mr. Negi talked about the regional power problems. Mr. Ravi Arya talked about changing the target region from one to place another. All these problems have been there for a long time now. The fact remains is the concept for planning has to be looked into. You see, we have been talking on the basis of the self-sufficiency concept on a regional basis. Now sometimes it's project specific. Is it not that all these problems have led to the change in the concept of planning of transmission system? I would earnestly request this August gathering and the organizer to kindly give a thought to the planning concept, open access, bottlenecks, and all those things are happening day in and day out. Day in and day out. I mean, it's a hard fact there is a congestion all over. It's a hard fact that you see the transmission, lot of generation has been bottled up. And what Mr. Jain said is about 2.5 rupees and so on and so forth. These changes would take place. That means the transmission system, which has to serve these needs, has to undergo a change in its thinking. What's an all India grid? I have never understood the concept of all India grid. Is it an evolutionary nature? If it is to be evolving itself over the last 40, 50 years, it has not evolved. That means there's a basic default line in the concept for the power grid, all India grid, you see. I would humbly request the organizer to kindly devote some time exclusively for the transmission concept.
We'll do that, sir. We'll do that. Thank you very much, Mr. Sood. We'll do that. We'll have a separate session on transmission only. We'll do that in the future. Thank you, sir. Point well taken. Any other questions? Yes, please, sir.
I'm J.D. Kulkarni, editor of Watch. I just have, to Mr. Dabi, the last one, he was talking about the fault controller improving voltage, reduces losses. I'm not able to understand that's not a function of a fault controller, I thought.
Now, with the
fault level controller will not improve voltage and tube lights won't work and the losses won't improve. I don't know, I'm not able to understand the basic electrical engineering in this.
So if there is a fault, then your voltage drops. We are saying using a fault current limiter, you can avoid that. And again,
if you're talking about 10 milliseconds and 100 milliseconds of fault, I mean, where's the question of reducing losses and improving voltage? And I'm not able to understand the basic function of a fault level controller.
Yeah, one of the current, if you look at my slide, which I talk, and the slides will be distributed, I assume, the current mechanism, one of the famous popular mechanisms to control faults today is using series reactors. That increases the losses. So we are saying you don't need to keep a series reactor in circuit 24/7. Keep it only for those 1 or 2 seconds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? I think we can just take one more question. That's all. Or if there are no other questions, one more?
Can I?
Yes. Yes.
Amit Chatterjee from Tata Steel. I have one question that when we are drawing this infrastructure plan, along with the roads, do we plan now the transmission corridors across India, or it is still an independent plan? Like transmission systems, they plan differently. Road infrastructure, they plan differently. Water infrastructure, they plan differently.
No, in fact, they are separately planning their own developments, like Ministry of Power for transmission through CTU, and NHAI through road and surface transport. They will make their own plans for the highways. Depending upon requirement in various regions of the country, these are developed by the individual ministries. And I agree independently, and I agree that there is no coordination between these three ministries or developers to have consultation before any development.
Thank you.
I asked this question only just, we are losing a lot of space because of these three corridors being planned in different time frame and different way every plan goes out.
See,
want to
we
add
are
this
still in developing phase. Once we are developed, fully developed, such issues will be taken care of. But at the moment, we are yet to join different states, different areas through road, through power availability. So these are the different agencies. They are working as per the requirement. So there is no, yes, I agree with you, there is no coordination as such between all these three people.
Sir, with your permission, may we say that the session is over now? I think
Yeah.
we've taken all the questions.
Mr.
Would you
Excuse
like
me,
to say something?
Mr. Dasgupta?
Yes, please.
I was raising my hand
All
for
right,
a last
please.
question.
Oh, please.
Good evening, I'm Meeta from IPPAI, and my question is to all the panelists. We heard from Mr. Shankaran from NCF, and I'd like to know that can we consider moving forward also have environment and ecology in our planning process? Is it possible? These concerns, we need to include them as we go forward. And would the industry be interested?
It is already there because every project requires environmental clearance.
Sir, not just the clearance bit, but the aspects that Mr. Shankaran pointed out. To be, looking at it and doing some planning where we have people like him in the planning process, so we can
Well,
be
wildlife.
guided better.
Wildlife. Wildlife is also there.
Yes.
Yeah, but then why do we still have so many problems?
It's environment impact study. It's a part of the planning process of a transmission system. Whenever you start constructing a land, you have to take care of all these aspects.
No, sir, I understand the clearance process, and we know that there are many, many loopholes in that clearance process. But are we as an industry really interested in addressing these and having people like Mr. Shankaran being involved in our planning process in a serious manner?
See, whenever you conceive a project and start constructing, it has to pass through the various clearances. In one of the panels are there, where expert panels are there, where Mr. Shankar-like experts are sitting there, and unless they say yes to a project, it cannot go further.
But sir, if I pose to you as a generator, would you in your next project involve somebody like him and we really come up with a plan in collaboration?
In fact, we try to avoid litigants because you will have your own views. Those who require power will have their own views. So we interact with the ministry, which is coordinator for the wildlife and the forest, and we think they will take care of these situations. Otherwise, there will be multiplicity of NGOs and the bodies, and the projects will be stalled.
But sir, can I propose that we have a round table on this, that which IPPI can organize?
Definitely, IPPI can
and
do it.
Look at it in a more
Yes,
incisive
we'll
manner.
definitely.
Meeta will
Thank
do
you.
it. Surely we'll do it.
Thank you.
We'll do it, Meeta. Anybody wants to add? We are running behind schedule.
May I just add one sentence? that I have been involved with large projects in all the steel, petroleum, and also transmission sector. But everywhere I was in charge of that environment, all the clearances I had to take, and we have to plan mitigation measures. That is whatever that Wildlife Act 1980, Forest Conservation Act, and all those things I have personally handled. So in all projects, that is generally taken care of. If you want to share that experience, it is a different matter.
Sir, I
He wants to add something.
No, actually, I very much share her concern. Her question, I don't know, I favor her from that point of view, that she wants to say, or I want to say now after her question, that transmission planning has to be proactive. What both of gentlemen have stated, it was reactive action. When these people, forest people have put on Forest Act 1980, then the eco-sensitive zone. Now, you know, I don't know, they have put such funny thing like 10 kilometers, you cannot do anything like airport. So these are all the reactive actions, sir, from transmission side.
I think
Probably
she-
her question
no, I
was,
think-
what is the proactive action? Now, no, there are a lot of protection. let me tell you.
She has a point. She feels that when we design, when we plan a power
Correct.
project, we should take
So I want to
also
guide some of
cognizance
the points to them,
problems of
sir.
the environment.
I want to guide some of the points. Like one point he said is aerial bunch cable which is insulated, one. You know, in Gujarat, lot of birds are migrating every year, and it's a place for this people to really preserve these birds. Now, there was an issue of flamingo dying in the Gujarat, and you know, they were telling this is the electrocuted. Actually, birds are not getting electrocuted. But at the end of the day, all of doing a lot of exercise, we found that this flamingo, when the vehicle is coming in the road in the night, they get disturbed. And they are hitting my earth wire. You know, earth wire is very thin.
Yes.
Then I really, when they brought photographs, we studied all that. You know, then we had decided that 10-kilometer line, we spent 10 crore rupees, 6 kV line, Amrapur, we laid underground cable. Now, so that is a proactive action. Now, why can't I decide? Now, again, question comes, discount starts.
We are running really very much behind schedule. With the permission of the chair, you
No,
know.
yes, yes.
What she wanted, we are going to do that.
No, we had to deliberate on this.
She wanted a round table.
Yes.
And we
Correct.
will organize that from here.
Yes.
Meeta, are you happy? Okay. May I request all of you to join me in giving a big round of applause to the chairman and the panelists over here. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.